Yes. Okay. Good morning and happy Friday, November 1st, 2024. Hope everyone had an enjoyable Halloween yesterday. There was a lot of people out there in my neighborhood. How was Halloween for you both?
It was good. I was in Herbosa and ran into Minnie and Jennifer.
Oh, that's awesome.
We were on the walk streets at the beach.
Awesome. And what about you, Debbie?
Yeah, busy. We were in Westchester and it was a lot of people,
Yeah.
but it was fun.
Good deal. Well, I appreciate everyone jumping on the call. I am so honored to have these amazing ladies as part of the producer's mindset. I have Debbie and Nikki with the Sun and Sand Group, and we're just going to have a candid conversation and just dive right into it. So, Debbie, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I before real estate,
Yeah.
I was an engineer.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I didn't know
manag-
that.
Yeah, and also ended up being a management for an engineering company. So I was doing that for about 18 years prior.
Amazing.
And it wasn't, you know, exactly my passion, but it was something that was stable.
Yeah.
I have two kids. During quarantine, I guess when COVID hit, I had to kind of stay home
Sure.
with the kids, so I wasn't working. And then I realized, I really realized that I wasn't really happy with what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was kind of tired of the corporate life,
Sure.
and I needed more flexibility. And I've always been interested in real estate. My family, um, they all are real estate investors, including myself, and been always wanting, like, curious about it. So I took the leap of faith during COVID, took the test, and then dove right into real estate, and here I am.
Amazing. What year was that? Was that in 2020 or?
2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
2021. Okay. So about what, 3, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Okay. Nikki, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I worked in the apparel industry for
Okay.
16 years as a sales rep.
Okay.
The last 6 of that I was out on my own. So I was an independent sales rep. I represented like 8 different lines at one time, and I would travel a lot. So I was always on the road. So once I had
Yeah.
kids, it was really, really difficult.
Mhm.
So I actually had a horrible medical emergency when I was on a trade show trip, and I was like, I'm done. I'm never doing this again. So I quit. And during quarantine, I also got my license.
Okay, so the same time, right?
Yep.
Was that in 2021?
Yes. So I got on board with Beach Cities
Okay.
in, I think it was August of 21,
Yeah.
and met Debbie.
Amazing. Okay, so that was going to be my follow-up. How did you two meet? Because you didn't start the group immediately, right?
No.
Right.
You guys were a solo agent, obviously learning the trenches of your path in real estate. So you guys met at the same brokerage.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Your first year in real estate, how was that experience for both? And anyone can speak.
Um, I mean, I'm used to being an independent salesperson. So for me, it was kind of the same, but it was like trying to find business was a lot. I did my first transaction. We both had the same mentor, Renee,
Okay.
and he's fabulous and took us both through our first few transactions. So yeah, it was just, a lot of like prospecting and trying to find those leads that'll get you to your transactions.
Sure.
So grind.
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 Yeah.
And it's lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was getting a lot of opportunities to do open houses. And a friend of ours, Jill Levine, was like, I asked her, do you want to do this open house with me? Because it was a 2 on a lot in
Yeah.
Redondo, brand new build.
Yeah.
And she was like, I can't, but what about Debbie? And I was like, oh yeah, Debbie. So I called Debbie and she was like, oh, sure, do it. So that was like the first time we worked together.
Okay.
And then I think you had an open house
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you asked me to do it.
Yeah. So we just started doing open houses together.
Okay.
And we
Beautiful.
like each other. Like
That's very
personally.
important, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh,
That would
yeah.
be.
Yeah, we got along. We have a lot of the same core values.
Yeah.
And I feel like we both want to bring the same level of service to our clients. So we kind of clicked.
Amazing. And you said earlier you had a coach or a mentor.
Mhm.
And that was both of your mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he mentored us separately.
Yeah.
But he's a great mentor.
Yeah. And surprisingly, it's Renee Garcia, right?
Yeah, we love her. I know, we're so happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So that was your first year. Let's dive into the second year and the hurdles of, understanding the components, the basics, the fundamentals of real estate. How was the second year in your career? Because you were in it when COVID was, right? So it was something new, but something that you've never experienced because you were, fairly new in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, we were still taking a lot of classes.
Mhm.
I felt like doing a lot of open houses and follow-ups. And I think, first year was just trying to figure out, all what to do and, navigating through all the systems in place and tools. And then the second year is just, we were starting to get transactions. I tapped into my sphere quite a bit.
Okay.
And so, I, just made sure that we were up to date, kept up to date on social media.
Good.
So a lot of my sphere would be looking at my social media and asking me about real estate.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, we were just doing more transactions. And,
Beautiful.
so that was, and from open houses as well.
Yeah. And this is still in the beginning stage of where you guys haven't even teamed up. So what was your first transaction? Was it a buy, a sale, a tenant, fees?
It was a buy, it was a buy and sell.
Buy and sell. Okay.
It was a buy and sell in Northern California.
Oh
Oh,
my
no,
gosh.
the one together.
Oh, our first together
first
or
together.
Yeah.
my
Well,
first?
Both or one? It was.
Our first transaction.
Yeah, so my personal first transaction was in Northern California. So I had to learn. I had to learn all the rules and everything that Northern Californians.
Sure.
Completely different than Southern California.
It's different from north and
Central.
northern, central, and south.
Yeah. A completely different MLS, everything. And I did a buy and sell for a cousin of mine. I had to travel back and forth multiple times to do inspections and everything like that, but it worked out.
Yeah.
Our first transaction was we actually did we sold our client's home, but we had to buy something for him right away. And then we ended up closing in like 8 days.
And having the house tinted for termites in those 8 days.
And
Yeah.
did all the inspections and everything like that.
And that was like our first month here at KW South Bay.
When you came to South Bay.
Yeah, that was our first transaction together.
Got
We've
it.
been working together for, I don't know, like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, because I remember when you guys came into the office, you guys were always together.
Yeah.
But you hadn't structured a team until later. So
Yeah.
now, how did you come across the name? That's so unique.
Nikki.
So tell me a little bit about the name and how you created the team.
I mean, it was a lot of, my husband works in branding. He has his
That's
own branding
right,
company and he does graphic design and he builds websites. So I was talking to him and Debbie and I were discussing like we're beach living women. So that's kind of like we were spitballing and I was on Pinterest. We both started looking at, kind of like logos, what we would like and everything. And it just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, Sun and Sun just feels happy.
Yeah,
Feels right.
it is where we live. So I felt like it really spoke to,
Who we are.
beach area.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's a very unique name and it just fits both of you, in my opinion. And when you brought it to my attention, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. I love that. So, okay, cool. So what about you? What was your first transaction?
So my first transaction was for my husband and I's best friends.
Okay.
So we're all best friends. Our
Yeah.
children are best friends. And I got shingles during the
Oh
transaction.
my God, really?
It was very smooth.
Yeah.
We actually the listing agents were Hoffman Murphy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So and like when we were done, it was like, thank you for being such a great first transaction. And they were like, that was your first transaction. But I had Renee,
Yeah,
so it was fine. But I was putting a lot of stress on myself
sure.
because I was like, these are our best friends. And if I can't, this was during quarantine, there were like 15 offers, and we went in doing an escalation clause.
I remember those times.
Yeah. And they just came back to us and were like, he wants $1 million. So if you can do $1 million, you
Yeah.
can have it. We were like, done.
Okay.
And we got it. And I got shingles.
Yeah, amazing. You use that shingles on.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
So, and what you said was key, having the right support, okay? And the support was a mentor that helped you navigate your first transaction, especially for, people that are on Zoom, the importance of, connecting with someone that will help you. If you have done one transactions or no transactions, it's always vital to find that one agent that has done transactions and maybe teaming up, right? Because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
crucial, especially in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even now, like, that's one of the many reasons that I enjoy my partnership with Debbie, because like I feel like if I'm like, I don't know, what do we do? I go, Debbie, and she's like, she knows, or we bounce ideas off of each other, and it's nice to have somebody else other than you, because we're always calling Simon,
Yeah.
to help you navigate the transaction.
Yeah. I love that. That's awesome. So tell me, one of the worst transactions, either solo or as part of the team that you faced, and how did you overcome that?
The one that pops into my mind is when we was Louis and
Yep.
Kelly.
Me too.
We were trying to find our client wanted a home. They were next door to her parents.
Okay.
And so we've been communicating with the listing agent on almost like a regular basis in as she was getting the house on the market. And I think the challenge was that the agent, why don't you, you probably could explain it a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, the difficulty was the agent. Yeah.
It's always the case.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, she would say that her client was insulted or whatever, but it was like, I mean, I don't think it's uncommon to come in a little bit under asking for a property that's asking a lot.
Sure.
And she took it very personally. So we had to navigate that. And then I had a situation where I was there, and like Debbie said, the mother lived next door. So our buyer's brother was there, and he kind of got into a little bit of a yelling match with the listing agent, and I had to like step in and be like, whoa, what's happening here? Like, let's step back and kind of diffuse the situation a little bit, because it got a little heated.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to note, you're going to have some great smooth transactions, and then you're going to have some chaotic ones, right?
Yeah.
But at the end, it's how to navigate it, right? And make it the win-win in all scenarios,
Yes.
right? Because it's not between the agents, it's not about the escrow, it's not about the lender, it's about the buyer and the seller getting them to the finish line, right?
For sure.
And sometimes agents get in the chaos and the mix of it, and like you said, Nikki, it's the emotional component.
Yeah.
And sometimes agents unfortunately kill the deals. So this is why it's important to be able to, navigate it like a plane and land it as smooth as possible, right? Because you're going to have those situations and times where they're going to be very difficult, but take the emotions out of it.
Yeah.
We just always feel like we just have to, remain professional.
Yeah.
Even if the other agent isn't, we just have, we always believe that don't get caught up in the emotions. That's not, it shouldn't be personal.
Sure.
We're all in the same team. Let's like move forward together.
Yep.
And if they want to, be emotional, go ahead, but we're not going to like.
Well, I think it goes back to, again, having Debbie, sorry, like when a transaction falls out or something happens, like we're humans, so we feel like, dang, but we talk about it to each other.
Sure.
And then we try to like lock it up and be professional going forward. But since I have Debbie to be like, no, we lost. we worked so hard. And then I'd be like, okay, thank you for your time. Really appreciate. So sorry we fell out of escrow.
It's like having two faces, right? Unfortunately,
Yeah,
right?
but we have that, sounding board and like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
you have each other.
Yeah.
To support you. That's great. Okay. Um, there was something that I was resonating in my head, and I was going to say it. Um, the navigating, right? So what motivates you, Debbie? Because both of you are mothers.
Yes.
Both of you have small children still in school. You have work, life, family balance. How do you guys do it? And you chuckled, so really.
Every day.
And I'm talking
learning.
for the
Oh
agents
my
that
God.
have families and
Yeah.
especially the women in real estate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're still producing, you're still
Yep.
closing, you guys are cappers. So tell us, what's the magic sauce?
I mean, I'm involved in everything. So like I try to offset my mom guilt of working by being involved in my kids' school because then they see me, I'm there, but I'm also prospecting. Like Debbie and I work our sphere pretty hard. That's where our transactions came that we just closed this month. So being a face in my local community, I feel like it's really important. And I pretty much say yes to everything. Like I'm doing the jogathon and I'm a troop leader for Girl Scouts and I'm both my kids' room moms.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you just keep going. You just
Yeah.
put one foot in front of the other and you just keep going.
Yeah, you chop away every single day.
Yeah, because you never know what's going to pop.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm also very involved in, my kids, with my kids and networking with the parents
Yeah.
around me. Conversations are very intentional with my sphere.
Right.
And the good thing is my kids are at school from basically 8 till 4, so I make sure that the time that I have, I am very productive and we're prospecting and Nikki and I are constantly working. Yeah. So
Yeah, when we're in transaction, like I feel like I talk to Debbie at like 6 in the morning sometimes, and then like 10 o'clock at night, like we've been either texting or in person or we're on the phone like
Sure.
nonstop. And then some days, like a couple days ago, like it's just like a text and that's it. So it's kind of just waxes and wanes. And when we're busy, we're like really busy. And then sometimes it just tapers off a little bit, which is nice because I feel like as real estate agents, sometimes we're working 7 days a week, like
That's
because we
true.
did open houses over the weekend,
Right,
right?
right.
So it's nice to like, I try not to feel guilty about taking the day,
Sure.
but like it does feel nice to sometimes take a Tuesday off.
Right.
So, because we all need the downtime to decompress.
100%. And see, you said something that's spot on. This industry or this career is sometimes like a 7 days per week, when most people have Saturday and Sundays off, that's when we're actually working.
Yeah.
Open houses, showing homes, involved in inspections, so on and so forth, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, it can be pretty intense and sometimes pretty chaotic at
Yeah.
other times too as well. Cool. So you said something that resonated with me, Nikki, prospecting. What is that mean to you or you, Debbie?
I mean, almost all of our transactions last year came from open houses.
Okay.
So we do a lot of open houses. I mean,
Very
that's
consistent because every time I talk to you, we're going to be hosting an open house. If Debbie's on vacation, you're finding an
Mhm.
open house to do this coming weekend as an
Mhm.
example, right? So tell us
Yep.
a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, we every week I'm looking for an open house if one of us is available to do it. Just because it's been a tried and true for us. So I'm on the MLS. I feel like I'm always on the MLS. So Debbie and I are really good at like dividing and conquering, and we kind of fill in each other's, where we lack, the other one brings in, more ability and knowledge. So I'm always on the MLS. I'm always looking. I'm always reaching out. Like I have gotten to the point now where agents reach out to me because they've worked with me and Debbie in the past doing their open houses. We almost almost closed a transaction with one of those, but it was an investor and he just wouldn't go up a little bit more. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, she recently asked us to hold one of her opens. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like prospecting to me too is just communicating and being out there and talking to people. And, you know, I found a client just going shopping for my countertops. You know, I went to a stone yard and I talked to a sales lady and I found out that she found out it was a real estate agent, and I found out she was looking for a house. And then next thing you know it, we're in transaction with her. So there's opportunity everywhere. You just have to, you know, be open to it and talking to people, even at the grocery store, or, you know, again, you know, we're moms, so we take advantage of our connections with moms, but at the same time, we're there for our kids.
Sure.
So it's like killing two birds with one stone. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, and that's advantages too, because you're in a community that resonates with you because of your children's.
Yeah.
But the parents is where you're connecting with the business component of it. So you're doing what do they call it? Play dates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they call them
Yeah.
nowadays?
Yeah.
Play dates, you know, but also they're parents that have careers, they have jobs, they have homes, or looking to, you know, purchase a home or sell a home.
Yeah, and what I love about that is it's fun. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel guilty because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And I should be working,
Yeah.
you know, but you know, I'm having fun, I'm connecting
Yeah.
with people, and I'm enjoying it. And you know, transactions are coming through that, which is like the best part.
And that's always been my philosophy since I've been doing real estate is you got to be out there, you know, lead generating every single day, whatever that looks like. You said something that I really truly believe is open houses,
Yeah.
because that was how my niche.
Yeah.
I didn't like picking up the phone.
Yeah.
I didn't like door knocking, but I loved doing open house because I would spend 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
Either on a Saturday, a Sunday, or both days,
Mhm.
just hosting it.
Yeah.
And potential people come in, right?
Mhm.
You don't know if that's going to be the buyer that's going to submit an offer. You don't know if that person coming in is looking to sell their home. You know,
Mhm.
how many times have that's happened too, right? They're filling you out. You know, are you that candidate or are you that agent that could help me sell or buy my next home, right? So that's very important.
Mhm.
We talked a little bit of a difficult transaction. Which has been the most successful, smoothest, working with the other agent? The transaction was like, wow, I can't believe this closed and no hiccups. Individually or as a team? Yeah,
Everything. We gotta get a smooth one this time. And
Yeah,
then
we always
That's
get
true. That is true,
we're stuck
right?
with like so many challenges in every transaction. I don't know if that's the case with this one. I think the smoothest was recently, the most recent smooth one was probably standability.
Yeah.
We found them, we met them at the open house. They were sweet,
In
sweet
January.
couple from,
Yeah.
where are they from?
He came from Chicago and he came from New York and they were getting married. They just got married in October.
Yeah.
I guess last month now.
And yeah, that was from an open house, and we found a home for them in View Park, and the listing agents were super nice.
So nice.
And very cooperative, and yeah, we went through that whole transaction, negotiating everything, went really smoothly. They're super happy. And
despite the fact that we found a lot of problems with the home.
we found like $75,000 worth of
Wow.
issues.
Yeah.
Foundation problems, but the sellers actually were able to, you know, put in a lot to like credit.
They gave us
So-
what we asked for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a win-win.
It was, and they were great, and our clients loved them. They were very pragmatic and easy to work with. They weren't first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
They were great. They are great. Yeah. So that was an easy one.
Yeah.
Ish.
So being part of a team, do you both go on a listing appointment
Yes.
when you
Yes.
meet with the seller? And
Always,
what about
always.
a buyer?
Yes.
Okay.
Always
so the
together.
same.
We
Always
have
together.
a buyer and seller.
Your marketing and
consultation.
everything.
Yeah, we go through a whole presentation, consultation. Sometimes we do it in person. Sometimes, obviously, listing presentation, we'll do it in person.
Yeah.
But yeah, we usually when we get to that point, the clients will want to work with us
Yeah.
for the most part.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes when I hear teams, it's either they'll go together or they'll go individually, but they, one is maybe operations and the other one is more like the personality, likes to go out there and just meet and greet people. What you're telling me is that both of you go on the same plan.
Yeah, because we want to show that you're getting both of us.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
at
a
least
good
for
point.
at least for the first consultation, we want to make sure they see both of us and they see the value that we both bring, that
Mhm.
they're getting 2 for 1, you know?
Yeah,
And we're both involved. Like
right.
Debbie and I we both do everything. I do some things more and Debbie does other things more, and we have our strengths and weaknesses, but we still do everything together. And we trust each other that we are going to give the level of service the other one expects and
Yeah,
wants our clients to get. So, when we start a transaction, we always start a group chat with
Love that.
the clients.
Yeah.
So we're both on the same page, because there's nothing worse than being like, what's going on? And I have to ask Debbie, and it's easier if we're all together on the same chat.
right. What does 2025 look for both of you? What's the goal for 2025?
More
More
transactions.
transactions, a lot more transactions, a lot more prospecting, getting, really being even more intentional with the sphere, with working our sphere. We're seeing a lot of referrals coming back from our current clients, which is great.
Yes.
That's what we want.
Yep.
We want referrals. We're always asking for reviews. We feel like that's super important. That's how we find our, when we're looking for service, that's what we do all the time, is look at reviews. So
Yeah.
just building our clientele and building our funnel, through open houses, sphere,
Yeah.
and probably like cold call. For me, it's cold
Yeah.
call too, because I used to be a telemarketer when I was like really young, and I just feel like, I like that. I enjoy
Yeah.
that actually.
Yeah. I see that of you. So is there anything you're gonna do differently than you did this year to next year to
Cold
prepare?
calling. Cold
So
calling.
adding more.
Adding more, cold calling, spending more time prospecting. We're always improving our systems. We're
Mhm.
always growing. We know that, there's always room for improvement. So we're gonna spend more time doing that. We're gonna optimize our systems. We have, that we have in place.
Yeah, continuing education,
Yes,
because we're coming
Yeah.
up on our 4-year,
yeah.
so we have to do that as well.
4 years of 45 hours.
Yes, so we got to do that.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fine.
So
Yeah,
just keep on keeping on.
yeah, okay. Very good. And you're gonna be part of the business clinic, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna be hosting soon.
We'll be here.
Okay.
Yep.
Good deal. Awesome.
Your business plan,
Mhm.
more
Yeah.
transactions.
Well, I think it's important. And did both of you do bold?
I
She
did
did.
bold.
I did.
Okay,
When
yeah,
I was at Beach Cities, I did bold.
okay.
But
Because
I
a
want
lot
to do it again.
Yeah, because a lot of the things that you mentioned kind of resonates about, the bolds, practice, the lead gens, the open houses, prospecting and doing all that stuff. And and this was a question I was going to ask you. When did you create the team? What year was that?
I mean, it was shortly after we joined South Bay.
Okay,
We created,
Yeah.
we created it on our own.
Yeah.
Cards. We went on DBA. We did a
Right.
DBA.
Yeah.
For it, but then I think for the MLS officially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a month ago.
Yeah.
yeah, because I remember, we were collaborating
Yeah.
and talking, and you were, in the position that you wanted to create the team and be a partnership with this.
Yeah.
We were partners way before
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We were,
But
like,
not officially. on
yeah.
paper.
And then it was like, okay, so if we do a transaction together, it's going to be 50-50, but then we're going to do our own. And it just got very much where we were like, okay, everything's 50-50. We feel like we're both bringing in enough business. And sometimes I'm 80% and Debbie's 20, sometimes Debbie's 80% and I'm 20. We feel like we both.
Pick up each other's
Yeah.
slack when, we need to.
Yeah, so we just 50-50. And if it's strictly my referral, Debbie still gets a chunk of it.
Yeah.
If it's strictly hers, it's still me, because we balance each other out.
Yeah, and that's important, right? Is to be able to balance.
Yeah, and I just don't ever want to get into ticky-tacky,
Yeah.
oh, well, I want more. And I don't know, it's just easier. It's so much easier to say everything's 50-50.
Yeah. And then how's it looking for the last couple months of the year?
Great. I mean, we closed a couple of transactions. We had a $3.65 million
Yeah.
purchase for a friend of mine, and then another listing, almost 1.6.
Yeah.
So that was a good month. Wonderful.
So
So yeah,
we will end
We'll
it
get more.
strong and cap again.
Well, and I always talk on these producers' mindsets. It's just stay consistent, through the holidays.
Yeah.
That's important
Yeah.
to know. So.
Yep.
Well, ladies, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for providing us with some insights to this amazing duel.
Simon, you have one question in the chat.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Emilio would like to know what their system for cold calling is.
What's our system?
well, I was using Mojo for a while. I think it was right around when I was taking Bold a year or so ago. But I put that on hold, so I haven't been doing cold call, and I'm going to be getting back onto it. But either there's a couple of companies that I'm looking into.
Okay.
Mojo being one of them.
Yeah.
Volcom,
Yeah.
all those. But I'm going to look at it again. But
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Amelia just gave you the thumbs up. Thanks,
Yeah,
Amelia.
I got a chance to meet Debbie at Bold, so she's great. And I appreciate you guys sharing these nuggets, and congratulations on all the success.
Awesome. Kim, any other questions?
Not that I see.
Wonderful. All right. Well, ladies, again, I appreciate you taking time. I know you had to take the little ones to school this morning. I rushed to the
we
office.
took care of it. So it's
Okay.
fine.
Leverage.
Yes.
Leverage. Okay. Well, that concludes our producer's mindset. Thank you so much. And today is November 1st. Let's crush it. Let's finish the year strong. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yeah.